How's it going, ladies and gentlemen? My name is RUFFLEDLIVE, and welcome back to a brand new video. We've got some new Pokemon rumors and leaks to take a look at, so sit back, relax, and grab yourself a beverage, and let's get started. Now, this first post right here is a bit of a list of some of the recent information we've been receiving. Now, please remember, guys, this info, it's a little bit complicated, because not all of this is confirmed, okay? Some of this stuff is legitimately going to be happening, but not everything is confirmed here. We don't know everything 100%, so just please remember that. That's the one thing I'm asking you just to do. Keep that in mind. So, let's get started from the top. This is coming to me from Ball Guy Leaks, and this was a kind of summarization by Poor Leaks, and here's the following. So, there's going to be a future form of Hariyama, which is interesting, because yesterday we went through this list, and we're going to go through that list again today, and I'll explain again all that stuff in this video for anybody that didn't understand it or didn't get what we were talking about. I'm going to go through that again and talk about it a bit later, but for now, we know that a future Hariyama form apparently is possibly going to be happening. Then there's talks about a Togepi, apparently Togepi does not get a new form and might not be in the game at all, which actually is quite interesting. I'm gonna be honest, I would be pretty happy with that. Now, yes, Togepi, and a lot of people love Togepi and whatnot, but I personally, not that I don't like it, but more like I feel like just it can be one of the most annoying Pokemon to go up against, especially when it fully evolves, and you know what I'm talking about. It's very strong, I don't know, it's a very strong Pokemon. It can be a little hassle to deal with, but honestly, for all the Togepi fans, I do feel sorry for you guys, though. At the end of the day, it's just a Pokemon. I wish all the Pokemon were available, but it is what it is. Then we have the talks about there being no new dinosaur Pokemon, which is not that surprising. We're already told that there's not going to be any new fossil Pokemon as well, which is fair enough. It is a disappointment, to say the least, but it is just, it's just, sometimes you can't get everything, right? So that's something we have to remember. Next, the talk here is about a new part bug-type Pokemon based on a dung beetle that evolves once. So this is a basically two-stage Pokemon. As a stage 1 and a stage 2, and that's it, right? And apparently it's going to be part bug-type and part something else. And this one I actually think is really interesting, because we actually speculated this. So shout out, by the way, to Soul, because Soul, actually did a really awesome thing. He kind of speculated this already weeks ago, months ago at this point. He speculated that a dung beetle was going to be happening based on the information we'd received from the riddles from Riddler Coup. So he kind of already knew this ahead of time. There's going to be a dung beetle based bug type, which is quite awesome. Then we also have information saying the Palmy is based on an animal called a Marmot, which is apparently what its actual design basis is on. So if you guys know what a Marmot is, there you go. There's a new parakeet / parrot Pokemon with no evolution. So a brand new parrot that doesn't evolve, just adding to the existing birds that don't get evolutions, which is just sad, man. I mean, Skarmory can't evolve. Whatever the other parrot is called can't evolve. Chatot can't evolve, as far as I know. It's just a depressing existence with those Pokemon. Either way, they're sub-legendary Pokemon. If you don't know what sub-legendary is, it's specifically Pokemon that are legendary, but they're the less important legendaries, right? For example, Lugia and Ho-Oh are the important legendaries, the main legendaries of, Pokemon, Gold, Silver, Heart Gold, Soul Silver, whatever, right? But then the sub-legendaries are Entei, Raikou, Suicune, and stuff like that. Those are the sub-legendaries, same way that Rayquaza, Groudon, Kyogre are the main Pokemon of Ruby, Sapphire, Emerald, but the sub-legendaries are the Regice, Registeel, Regirock, whatever, as well as whatever else kind of small legendaries might exist and stuff like that. So just keep that in mind. That's an aspect you have to keep in mind. And basically what we're talking about here is that apparently the sub-legendary Pokemon have Chinese roots in their names. Apparently their names may have hints towards Chinese mythology and stuff like that within them, which I think is quite interesting to keep in mind and remember. But yeah, so it is interesting. Also, Soul is going to be tweeting a bit of a breakdown in a bit about a bunch of this information that we've been talking about. But he actually has a big breakdown that's going to be coming, I guess, about all the new Pokemon that are going to be in here. Because there's a lot of information we haven't gone through yet. There's a giant list, for example, right here that was made by specifically a person called Joker901. He made this list, so shout out to him for putting together this list. But this list kind of lists a bunch of the Pokemon that will be in here, and we can zoom in here to see what the list actually contains of all the Pokemon that have so far been confirmed or mentioned by either the one or the other leaker, right? So either Kaka or Ku, right? Either one of those two has said one of these Pokemon will exist or the other will exist or whatever. So if we start from the top left up there, which is, it's a lot to go through, okay? We're going to start off from the top left here. So top left, we have Sprigatito, Sprigatito 2, and Sprigatito 3. So grass, and then grass, dark type with the final stage evolution. Then we have Fuecoco, its evolution, mid-stage, and of course its final stage evolution, which is fire ghost type, which also is a typing that pretty much has been confirmed, which also mimics, by the way, the typings of the the starter Pokemon of Legends Arceus. Then we also have Quaxly and its evolutions, and the third stage here, or the final stage evolution, is a water fighting type. Then we have Pawmi, which is going to have a first stage, a second stage, and a third stage, and this is where the confusion happens, because the one that's been leaked, we've already seen a leaked version of Pawmi's third stage evolution, as far as we know. It's not really 100% confirmed yet, but the problem is nobody can tell if what Pawmi is, if Pawmi is the first stage or if Pawmi is the second stage, right? I'm going to assume that Pawmi is the first stage of this three-stage evolutionary line. That's what I'm personally going to predict here, okay? The Pawmi is just the first stage, and then the middle stage is going to be the one that we've seen leaked, and then the third stage is going to be something totally different. And that the third stage one, by the way, apparently is supposed to be an electric fighting type and supposed to be a brand new Pokemon. That puts us already at 12 new Pokemon so far, based just on this, but then we continue on. Smoliv is going to be a grass, well, it is grass normal, and then they don't know what it's like, you know, apparently it's going to get 2 evolutions based on the info that we received, but we don't know if it's going to be gaining any extra typings. They're not known as of right now. Then we have Lechonk and Lechonk 2, and Lechonk 2 is going to have basically, like Lechonk's second stage evolution, is going to have a male and female form. We don't know about typing there. Nothing's been confirmed. Then we also know that there is a dolphin Pokemon, which we only really know is going to be kind of humanoid looking, right? It's going to look like more like, you know, think Garchomp, right? Garchomp is based on a land shark, or just a shark in general, but a shark that's on land. That's what that's based on. That's what its design, its concept, everything. It's a land shark. But remember, it looks more humanoid, right? It looks more like, you know, like it's standing up on 2 legs. It's, you know, it looks more humanoid-esque. So think about this dolphin kind of in the same realm. Think about it in the same category, so to say. Then there we have information that there is a flamingo Pokemon, which we have seen an image of, I think. And this one is supposed to be a flying fighting type, which is, honestly, in my opinion, pretty awesome. I think that's going to be a sick Pokemon. Then we know that there is a Pokemon, a flower-based Pokemon that's going to be based on a flower. We don't really know any other information on it. And we also know that there is a evolutionary dog line. So there are 3 different dog Pokemon. One is 2 stages, another one is 2 stages, and the last one is a single stage dog, 2 stages as well. So there's basically 3 different types of dog Pokemon here, okay? 3 different types, and all 3 of them have a single and an evolutionary stage, right? So a starting stage and an evo, right? So they get 1 evolution each, and one of these is going to be a ghost type dog, right? That's the one thing we know. The rest we have no information of that's been concrete. So far there's only speculation and stuff like that, but there's no concrete evidence, so to say, as of right now. Then we know there's going to be a coin-based Pokemon, an ostrich Pokemon, a spider, and a bike Pokemon. Now, these are all the least known ones. The one that we know the most about is the coin Pokemon, because it's been already hinted, and there is an idea that it might possibly evolve, like there's no confirming on this, that could evolve into a chest that's based on a mimic, which are these chests that are like dangerous and can eat people and stuff. So yeah. Then there's also the worm. Now, the worm is supposed to be this part of this new gimmick, the kind of like this like fake Pokemon gimmick, like the R fakes, right? And the worm is basically going to be mimicking, unless I'm wrong here, unless this is an unrelated thing, which it possibly could be if this is unrelated. But if it is not unrelated, then that could be what they're referring to with the worm. Could specifically be, as I said, the whole idea of like this being, you know, kind of a Pokemon mimicking the look of another Pokemon, aka Diglett and Dugtrio. But that's not confirmed. Not sure if that's what they're referring to. Then we have the next section here, which is right above me here. You guys can like watch me as I go down it. So we have unknown Pokemon, which is an unknown one, which is a grass fire type. So we know that we've been told there's going to be a grass fire type Pokemon. I think that's great. That's a typing combo that we have yet to receive, okay? That is a type combo that does not exist as of right now, which I am personally all on board for, okay? I'm all on board for it. I think it would be great, and I'm all for it. So then there's also a Japanese bug that's more or less based on a samurai. So it's a bug type Pokemon, similar to in design, I guess, to a samurai. And then we also have a pink lolly Pokemon with a hammer, which is a fairy type, which we've talked about before. And it also apparently might have an evolution. Then we have a Icicle Pokemon and its evolution as well. So a Icicle Pokemon, an Ice type, pretty clearly. Then a Salt Pokemon with an evolution, an Engine Pokemon with also an evolution, and a Beetle Pokemon with a Beetle evolution that's also Bug type. Again, dude, I hate how much love the Bug types are getting. A-Drive is going to be so goddamn happy. All of this Bug types just getting some love. But yeah, so apparently Beetles, we got a two-stage right there. Then we have a Parakeet Pokemon, which is what we talked about earlier. The idea of there being a parrot-based Pokemon that's going to be like kind of like a parrot. That's been mentioned, as you guys can see right there. But then there's also the idea of there being a new Primate Amiibo. So there is where we get into the evolutions and the other forms and stuff like that. So there's going to be a cross-gen evolution. And again, if you don't know what a cross-gen Evo is, a cross-gen evolution is specifically a Pokemon that may have been introduced in a previous generation, but that gets a regular evolution in another generation. So an example of this is, for example, Magmar, or I guess in this case, Electivire or whatever, right? Or Magmar and I guess even Rhydon, right? So Magmar and Rhydon, those two originated in Gen 1, but they got themselves evolutions later on, and even pre-evolutions, cross-gen pre-evos and evos in Generation 2 and Generation 4. In Generation 4, we got Rhyperior as an evolution, which was a cross-gen evolution, and we also got Magmortar, Electivire, etc., right? Those were like, sorry, for Electabuzz. Yeah, Electabuzz evolved into Electivire, or got that as a cross-gen evo. That's the kind of point I was trying to make here, that, like, you basically got your hands on, these cross-gen evolutions, which are actually just regular evolutions. They're not like any crazy thing, but apparently Primeape is going to get one. Then Girafarig is getting one as well, which we only really know, I guess, it's going to be Psychic, and that's about all we know about it. Murkrow is getting a brand new one as well, which we don't know much about. We also know that Dunsparce is getting a Evo as well, which we know is only really normal for now, normal typing. Bisharp Evo as well, which we have speculated about this one, and I will point out that we talked about this yesterday, that the Bisharp Evo most likely will be based on chess pieces. And if you think about it in chess, well, you have Pawniard and Bisharp. Pawniard is literally based on the pawn. The pawn is the most simple piece, the basic piece, but also the piece that can turn into any other piece. Then you have Bisharp, which is based on, well, the bishop, right? The bishop is a piece that can move, I'm not sure if, how you say it, vertically, right? In verticals, it can move vertically, but then what would be the next stage? Well, there's the towers, there's the horses, whatever. There's a few different options. I don't know what the, again, English names are for them, but you do have the king and the queen as the end goal, right? And we are predicting here that most likely Bisharp is going to get a new Evo that's going to have a gender difference, right? If it's a female, just like think of Pyroar, how Pyroar has a gender difference. Well, same thing here. The Bisharp is going to have a gender difference that if it's a female, it's going to look more like a queen, and if it is a male, it's going to look more like a king, which is actually pretty awesome. I personally, if that actually ends up happening, if that is a genuine thing that's in there, I am so for it, dude. I would love that so much. Then we have, of course, the brand new evolution for Wooper. So Wooper's getting a regional form to start with, but also it's getting a regional evolution. That's something that's going to be happening there. So that's not a cross-gen Evo. That's a brand new, regional Evo, right? So you got to remember to differentiate between these, because a cross-gen evolution is just a regular evolution. A regional evolution is specific for the regional form of the Pokemon. Again, we've seen this with like Obstagoon, right? Obstagoon, Linoon and whatnot, and all those are like Galarian Zigzagoon evolves into Galarian Linoon, which then evolves into Obstagoon, which is a regional evolution specifically for the regional form that isn't in any way connected to the original Pokemon, so to say. Then we have Ancient Jigglypuff, which is one of the ancient Pokemon. Now we know that these ancient Pokemon and the future Pokemon are most likely going to be exclusive depending on what game you have. So for Scarlet, probably the ancient Pokemon, and for Violet, the future Pokemon. And you're going to be able to get these, and these are Pokemon that are almost legendary in status. They're not legendaries, but they're legendary in status, and these Pokemon will not be able to evolve. For one, they're not going to be able to evolve, and for two, these Pokemon, just, surface level, okay? These Pokemon are basically kind of like the either future or past, iterations of existing Pokemon, right? So basically, to put it like this, and I made this comparison, if you look at a Sabertooth and you look at a, Sabertooth tiger and a regular, like a Bengal tiger, right? Sure, they're both tigers, but they are not the same animal anymore. A saber-toothed tiger, yes, it's still a tiger, but it is a different creature. So basically what's happening here is the same principle. The ancient Jigglypuff that isn't really I mean, its name is also going to be different, by the way. It's not even going to be called Ancient Jigglypuff or whatever. We know it's going to have its own individual name, and it's going to be its own individual Pokemon, and have its own individual Pokedex number that's separated from the, normal version of this Pokemon that we know of, or the present time version, which is like a regular Jigglypuff. The Ancient Jigglypuff isn't even going to be called Jigglypuff. It's going to have its own name because it's not the same thing. The same reason, if you look at even us humans in terms of evolutionary things, there are other, humans, if you want to call them that, right, that existed in the past, like other cavemen that weren't Homo sapiens like the rest of us. There were those that were Neanderthals and etc. And basically those don't exist anymore. And the same reason here is this Ancient Jigglypuff is like another version that existed in the past that, is similar, but it's not the same. You have to separate the two. They're not the same entity. And that's basically what we have right here. So Ancient Jigglypuff, Ancient Amoonguss, Ancient Misdreavus, which is an interesting choice right there with Misdreavus, Ancient Volcarona, and then also there is an Ancient Generation 2 Pokemon. Then there is also an Ancient or Future Salamence, and an Ancient Pseudo-Legendary Pokemon, which you don't know about, as well as a Future Volcarona. So yes, Volcarona is getting both a Ancient and Future form, possibly, which is going to be quite cool. Then there's a Future Delibird and a Future Gallade/Gardevoir. So this future version of Gallade and Gardevoir is going to be like a combo of the two, possibly, which we're going to see how that's going to turn out. Then there's also a Gen 5 Bug Pokemon, which is going to be receiving a future form, and a Future Generation 2 Pokemon is also going to be getting I guess a Gen 2 Pokemon is going to also be getting a future form, so to say. Then we have the last side over here, where we have Hariyama, which is going to be getting itself a future Pokemon form as well. Then we have the regional fakes. So this, I was wrong about, like earlier about the worm. That's a separate Pokemon. This is a totally different worm Pokemon. But the fake Diglett, basically, this is a Pokemon that has nothing to really do with Diglett. It just imitates the actions and the style of Diglett, right? So this is literally not a Pokemon. It's not a Diglett. It's not an actual Diglett. It will just mimic its design a little bit because it's like mimicking it within its nature rather than anything else, right? It's like mimicking its literal natural state, so to say, which is quite interesting. And there's going to be, I mean, for right now, it's only prediction that's going to be water type, and it's going to be a, Diglett Dugtrio type thing. But we don't really know about that. That's not confirmed. Then apparently there's going to be another regional fake, which is only really 2 confirmed right now. There's going to be a Gen 1 water Pokemon that's also going to have a regional fake version of itself. And then there is a sub-legendary that, actually there's 4 of them, of the sub-legendaries, which we mentioned earlier. And then, of course, Koraidon and Miraidon, which are, dragon fighting and dragon, electric, respectively. And those typings are pretty much confirmed at this point, so just keep that in mind. But yes, I wanted to know what you guys just think about this. What are your thoughts and opinions on this whole subject? What are your thoughts and opinions on this info? Whatever you guys think, just let me know. And, of course, there is also further information which can be added here. I mean, that was just a list to start with, but there is also a big breakdown that can be had right here about a lot of this. I mean, again, Soul is putting together a list of, like, kind of like, breaking down a lot of the stuff. Like, the Flower is a leaked image Pokemon. There's also the missing electric frog Pokemon. Samurai is not the same as the Cayman Rider Japanese bug. Maybe they're separate. Samurai may be related to something else. The Coin Spider and Worm and Bike maybe all have Evos. Murkrow Evo is very suspect as well. And the Time Warp Pokemon, Volcarona is the future Gen 5 bug, and the future/past Gen 2 Pokemon are not confirmed. Salamence and T-Tar are not confirmed either, and it's unknown if Hariyama or Makuhita will actually be getting it as well. So yeah, this is fair. There is inaccuracies, and that's why I'm telling you guys at the start of the video. Please remember, all this stuff is a bit of hearsay right now, so just keep that in mind. Also, these 2 images popped up. Now I'm going to pretty much just say these are most definitely fake, and the reason I say that is because they're kind of like in some way trying to mimic or like try to like recreate what we've already seen from the actual real leaks that came out, and try to kind of mimic that. But I do think they look great. I think the designs look awesome. But I don't really know if there's much we can learn from this. I think these are definitely fake images, though. But they look cool, though. Not gonna lie, they do look cool. But most likely fake. Most definitely, most indubitably, they are most likely fake. Okay, I'm just gonna be frankly honest and say that. That's how it feels. Okay, that's literally the feeling it gives to me. So whatever you guys think about this, let me know in the comment section down below. But again, like I said, it does feel like right now that there is nothing worthwhile to look at in terms of image leaks, because none of them are really confirmed. But there is still more stuff that we can, of course, learn about. Well, everything. Like I said, there's a lot of info. There's a lot of stuff to learn about. that I think you guys will enjoy. So the next thing here is just a quick little breakdown about some other new information that's been dropping. Again, all this stuff isn't confirmed, but it's just, you know, a general rundown here from Centro. So shout out to him for like doing this rundown. But here's what he says: Alpha Pokemon are back. Won't be called like that, but will have a similar functionality and be related to the story. Now, what are Alpha Pokemon? Well, if you didn't play Legends Arceus, if you didn't go through and play the game, if you didn't enjoy the game, if you didn't, like, you know, experience it or anything like that, then you may not know what it is. But it's just basically Pokemon that are a bit more strong and they have an aura around them, and they're larger than a regular Pokemon, and they're aggressive in the wild, right? And you want to catch them because they're generally going to be stronger and more useful. So that's one of the things. Mass outbreaks were basically these things where there would be like a lot of that specific Pokemon, you know, just started bursting out in a single area. So you'd be finding like, you know, 5 of them at the same time of a singular specific species of Pokemon in a single area. The size variations from Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee and PLA are actually back. So apparently the different sizes of a Pokemon will still be present. Yes, a Pokemon will be able to look different in size depending on, you know, well, its variation in size, more or less. Giraffrix Evo is apparently a pure Psychic type, which is a bit underwhelming, to say the least. I will say that is a bit underwhelming, but fair enough. Then apparently there's a new Beetle Pokemon. We already talked about that. Ancient future Pokemon have very weird names. They follow a pattern but don't include the name of the original Pokemon. So basically they're not, you know, if the ancient Jigglypuff is not going to be called Jigglypuff, you know, it's not going to be called ancient Jigglypuff. It's going to have its own name, but it's going to follow some kind of pattern. And the new Beetle Pokemon is based on a Dung Beetle, which we already talked about. It evolves once. The new Parakeet Pokemon as well. Dunsparce Evolution is apparently normal type, and future species for a Sumo Pokemon have been teased, possibly Hariyama, and the ability download has been removed because there are no Pokemon that have it, which would confirm that certain Pokemon that should have it are then also not available in this game per that basis, right? Based on that info, we now can confirm certain Pokemon would also not be available. But for ladies and gentlemen, I think that pretty much breaks down all the info we had to talk about for now right here. I don't think there's really much else to mention, but that's going to be it, guys. So again, I want to know your thoughts and opinions in the comment section down below. What do you guys think about all this? Let me know. And I just want to see, like, you know, what are your thoughts on all these leaks? What are your thoughts on the information? Do you like the Pokemon that have been mentioned so far? Do you like the IDs of them? Do you like the leaked ones? Do you like the speculated ones? Just let me know. I want to hear what you guys think. And let me know in the comment section down below. And of course, thank you for watching. I'll be seeing you guys in the next one. Peace out and bye-bye, ladies and gentlemen.